Hi, it's Dan with Master of the Morning, so you own the day. The question is, do you understand the significant difference between a process and an outcome? I'm sitting here in the corner of my weight room here in my home because there's no better environment that reminds us that if my desired outcome is to spend an hour on the Precor, pushing myself to my ultimate capacity and potential as a human being, I must begin where I am in my current state of cardiovascular fitness. An outcome goal forces us to focus on the future. A process goal invites us and inspires us to focus on the present. An outcome evaluation only tells us whether or not we achieved that desired outcome. A process evaluation tells us how and why we did it. When we have an outcome goal, we use that outcome, that desired result, as the target. But when we have a process goal, we use the individual daily effort, the step-by-step action steps, as the target that will lead us to accomplishing the desired outcome. There's no better place to find a perfect illustration than the world of being a high school educator, in-classroom teacher. So many years ago, I hit up my favorite high school teacher for an illustration, Mr. Croft. I said, I need you to explain to me the difference between outcome and process in terms of education. And he said, well, in what context? I said, what's your toughest assignment? He said, classroom discipline, classroom management. And I said, so is it my way or the highway, or do you engage each student in a process that will breed mutual respect and support so they will do what you ask them to do? And he lit up like a Christmas tree. He said, you nailed it, Danny. He said, a few years ago, I had this kid in my class, total terrorist, disrupted the whole class. I said, so what did you do, kick him out? He got this offended look on his face. He said, Danny, I've taught school for over 25 years and I've never sent a kid to the office. I can't give up on him. What if he was your kid? I said, Mr. Croft, cool, but don't lie to me. I've been in schools before where there's a long line of students out the principal's office, down the hall, out the door, past the 9A bus stop. They have tans. They've been out there for 2 months. I said, what happened, kid? I got caught screwing goldfish into the pencil sharpener and I'm on murderer's row. Ha! That's not education. And Mr. Croft says, no, I couldn't give up on this kid. So I did some research. And he discovered that this kid played in a rock and roll band. And he discovered that this kid's rock and roll band was playing this very Friday night in a smoke-filled, honky-tonk, redneck bikers bar out in the bushes somewhere. So Mr. Croft talked 5 of his fellow teachers into going with him so that he wouldn't be stabbed all by himself. And they slide in the back of this bikers bar. Sure enough, the punk band is on stage, and we've all seen these guys. Lead singer, half his head shaved, carburetor stuck in his nose, 22 earrings over here, miniature towel rack over here. We've seen it. They're up on stage, headbanging, doing their thing. And as the back door of this dance hall slams shut, it startles everyone to turn and stare them down. And the band stops dead in their tracks. Through the reverberation system of the microphone, you overhear the lead singer say to the bass player, whoa, who are those 6 proctologists just came in the back door? And the bass player says, whoa, they're teachers from my school. And he cups his hands and yells, Mr. Croft, what are you guys doing here? Now visualize Mr. Croft. He and his colleagues always wear Argyle sweaters and matching Argyle socks. We called them the GQ crew. Totally out of place. Mr. Croft has his heart start pounding up into his neck, cotton mouth. He can't even breathe. He can barely whisper, we heard your band was groovy and we came to check you out. Generation gap in communication. Everybody rolled their eyes, kind of giggled. But Mr. Croft felt a sense of acceptance and then bravely concluded, we came to support you. We heard your band was amazing and we're here for you, bro. That's all the acceptance they needed. The band cranked back up their music. Mr. Croft and his fellow teachers only stayed there 20 minutes. That's all the noise they could take. That was Friday night. Question, Monday morning, was this kid a discipline problem in Mr. Croft's classroom? No way. Was this kid a discipline problem in Mr. Croft's classroom for the rest of the school year? No way. Was he a discipline problem in other teachers' classrooms? Way. Why? Those teachers had outcome-based education. Everything was focused in and fueled by my way or the highway. You must be here or else. And Mr. Croft understood the only place from which a person can grow is where he or she is. We have to go where they are physically and emotionally. Only there can we invite them to trust us. Only there can we invite them to understand that we really do care and that we're here to gently invite them to improve. If this message resonates with you, share it with family members, with teammates, with coworkers. Share it with the world, because studies indicate that people are 22% happier when we can focus in and learn to celebrate the minor accomplishments. Appreciate the small wins, the daily, hourly victories in our lives, instead of waiting to find that fulfillment and satisfaction by accomplishing some big, giant, outcome-based goal.